Okay, so to get started with this project, once you have your image scanned into the workgroup server, and I'm going to go to our folder, Graphic Design Term 2 in this case. I made an ASCAN folder. So these are individuals who scanned their images yesterday. Some really nice images here. I'll take a look at those in a second with you. But what you're going to want to do is in Illustrator, File New, and I've already logged into the workgroup server to do this. This is important. So if you're not logged into SQWG, make sure you are. And you're going to change this to, make sure your units are set to inches. Change this to 8 inches, 8 inches, and for advanced raster effects, high 300 ppi. You don't have to worry too much about that. And I'm going to say OK. And there's my image. It should be a nice square. I'm going to say File, Save As before I do anything else. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this to the workgroup server, and I'm going to save it in a specific spot. So SQWG, Art, Silver, Handout, and then Graphic Design Term 2, and I'm going to go to my folder. This is Silver. Actually, Rebecca Silver in this case. And I already have a folder there, at least I should, that says Line. I want to save it in there. And I'm going to call this Line Project. Okay, so it's important that you do that because that's the actual project. So I already have line exercises in there. Hit Save and say OK. Before I go any further, I think what I also want to do is go ahead and I'm going to set my stroke. Just to get started here, we want a nice thick stroke, so we're going to set it to 4 points and no fill. And what I want to do now is import an image in that I made. I'm just going to go ahead and use someone else's image. If I just do this, so this is Geo's. I'm going to grab that and drag that. Let's see if that opens. Oh, perfect, it did. So these are his very lovely sketches that he has. And if you look carefully, you can actually see he spelled his name out. I'm not sure which one he's going to use. Let me show you one more. These are all very nice. Here's Violet's. So again, grab and drag. So obviously you're going to scan in your own image. Those are also very nice, and looks like she also used her name. Really cool. I'm just going to use this one just to show you how to rotate it and everything. So I'm going to come over to the corner. I make sure I have my selection tool on. Come over to the corner. And the trick is, if you want this to rotate it exactly a 90-degree angle, hold down the Shift key, and as you rotate it, you do that. I don't need, obviously, all this extra stuff here. I just want to resize these. So let's say, and I don't know what Geo's plans are, but I'm just going to grab this one. Let's say that, because this has a nice off-center point of interest, that's something you want to think about is, where's your point of interest? Like, I think this one's very centrally located, where this is kind of off to the side. So is this one. Let's say we start with that one. So you choose the one you want, and then you're going to hold down your Shift key while you resize the image. And if you need to Apple minus a couple times so you can see what's going on, do so. But you want to go ahead and take the image you're going to use and have that fill the screen. Just make sure you're holding down the Shift key so you don't end up doing something like, I'll just show you, this is it going, see how it's all warped now? So make sure you hold down the Shift key so you get a perfect lineup of that. And I think if you hold down the Option key, it'll, well, anyway, just hold down the Shift key and resize it and just make sure it fits. So I'm almost there. A little bit more. Let's see if that's good. That looks like that's good. All right. And from there, I don't want to mess with this layer, so I'm going to go to Window, Layers, and I'm going to lock this layer, and I'm going to start working on another layer. And by the way, every once in a while, you might want to just make sure you save your work because it's already in the right tool. So this is actually just to show you guys. My actual artboard is right here. So all this extra stuff is just extra stuff. I don't really need to see it. If this is, by the way, too dark and too distracting, you can take this, and I'm selecting layer 1, which is now not locked. And you could, if you wanted to, just kind of make it a little bit lighter before you start working on it. And then lock it again. Lock your opacity and go back to layer 2 and start working on it. So, grab your line tool. And again, remember your stroke should be 4 points. Black is good. Let's just use black. We can always change the color later. And at this point, I think you guys know what to do. Use your pen tool if you want to. I also recommend breaking away your shape tool and use those as well. At some point you're going to need your scissors tool, so I might as well get that out and have that ready to go. Some of you might be using your pencil tool and the smooth tool, so if you want to break those and get those out, just set up your workstation so you're all ready to go with this. But remember, this is 8 by 8, stroke is 4 points, and black. And this is pretty much how I would set this up. And then just make sure you're working on a lock layer. You might want to have a couple different layers to make this easy, but that's pretty much it. Good luck, you guys.